Hey, this is Jamey from Stegmaier Games, and today I'm joining you for round 3 of the game of Rolling Realms that I've played over the last few days. Today we have Euphoria, Tapestry, and Pendulum. Feel free to join along and play along, or just watch and comment and say whatever you'd like, or ask me whatever you'd like. I'm happy to talk for the next 15 minutes while I'm playing this round. So in Euphoria, you're going to use a die to cross off one of these numbers in either this area or that area, and then you'll add up all crossed off numbers in that area and gain the bonus based on where in that range it falls. So if I have a 1 and then I cross off a 6, 6 plus 1 is 7, so that's in the 4 to 10 range, I'll gain a star from that. The nice bonus from Euphoria is if the rolled dice specifically, have doubles or show a pair, you get to cross off both of those numbers in both of the areas and gain both areas benefits by only using actually one die. In Tapestry, you are using a shape depending on the number that you're choosing at that time. You can use the shape multiple times to fill in that exact configuration of squares in this little polyomino puzzle here. You can't go outside of this area, and you can't cover up areas that have already been covered up. When you completely cover up one of these resources, you gain the resource, and at the end of the round, if you complete, for each row and column you complete, you get a star, each big row or column. And last, we have Pendulum. In Pendulum, you can use any number to circle one of these octagons, and you don't gain anything right away. Later on, when you cross off and complete one of these hourglasses, you'll gain all of the benefits that you previously circled up here, and those benefits remain circled for you to get more of later. So for example, if I start off by circling a star, and then on my next turn, I get a 6. Let me see if I can get this to focus real quick. So if I circle and get a star, I then cross off this 6. I've completed that hourglass, I would gain 1 star. But then say on my next turn, I circle the heart and the coin, and a few turns later, I finish this hourglass. I would then get that star that I previously circled and that heart and that coin. That's how Pendulum works. Mark is joining us today. He says he just played Rolling Realms just now, so he must have played a game. You must have played a game on your own, Mark. Feel free to play against me right now if you feel like playing again. If not, you can just hang out for a few minutes as well. I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see kind of what my board looks like in low res or maybe high res if you're watching this live on Facebook. And let's check out our first roll. A 6 and a 4. Also, next week, if I don't forget, I noticed there are some solo playthroughs or solo challenges on Board Game Geek. So next week, I might use one of those solo challenges to play. It's kind of using dice that have already been rolled, realm configurations that have already been determined. I might try to do that next week if I remember. So we have a 6 and a 4. So it's not a pair for Euphoria. I might hold out for a pair in Euphoria. 6s are great in Tapestry early on. And for Pendulum, one thing I realized in Pendulum that I should be doing more often is instead of going after the circling the octagons right away, it's kind of like preparing the hourglasses to be crossed off with a single number. So I'm going to use the 4 here in Pendulum, and I'll use the 6 over here in Tapestry. What's the best place to do it in Tapestry? I want to do it in a place. Okay, let's try this one. This is perhaps not a great place to put it because I don't actually get any resources, but I'm setting myself up so I can use a single polyomino shape here in the corner to complete that later. We'll give that a try. All right, roll 2. Turn 2. Sorry about that. A 6 and a 1. So 6 and 1 add up to 7. And so if I had 2 coins right now, which I don't, I could copy one of these dice, but I don't. I do have another 6 I could use in Tapestry, which could be good, and a 1 in Pendulum. Let's continue this method of crossing off numbers first. So let's put a 1 over there in Pendulum. Actually, I could also use a 1 in Euphoria, get that coin. Let's do that. Let's use I could get a pair of. In Euphoria, I'm always worried that my next roll will be the pair of those 2 numbers, and so I'm not optimizing it to that point. So I'll keep it the way I did it. And I'll use a 6 over in Tapestry. You have to use the full shape, which is going to be a little tight now. All right, let's use the full shape right here. That will get me a heart, my first resource of the round. All right, turn 3. A 1 and a 3. So at this point, I probably need to start doing stuff in Euphoria. I do have a 3 over here in Pendulum. So yeah, I'll use the 3. Do I want to use the 3 in Pendulum? I could also use the 3 up here in Tapestry to get a coin. Now let's use the 3. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I don't think I've ever completed Tapestry live, so maybe we'll actually do it today with those 2 early 6s. So I have a coin. I have a 1 to use over here. Let's use a 1 over here in Euphoria. That gets me a coin. And we'll use 1 coin to circle one of these. I'll do the heart and the coin. All right, turn 4. A 6 and a 3. I can no longer fit a 6 into Tapestry. So that, actually, no, I can. I can use another 6 there if I wanted to cover a lot of space. It would then require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might actually work. I didn't think about that. I don't think I've ever fit 3 6s in here, but that is doing it. And I actually now have that pumpkin completely filled in. I don't know if I missed that before. Did I do that right? Yeah, I think I missed that before. I didn't get that pumpkin, but I have it now. That's great. Okay, a lot of space covered in Tapestry. I have a 3 to use somewhere. Let's go ahead and use the 3 in Pendulum. I'm set up now in Pendulum to, I probably should get some more stuff in Pendulum, and then I can start completing those hourglasses. They're all set up to be completed. And in Euphoria, let's go ahead. You know, the 1's not going to do a lot of good here, so let's cross off that 1 and get another coin. In case I'm saying if I rolled a pair of 1s, they're not going to do a lot of good anyway in Euphoria. Speaking of a pair of 1s, there is a pair of 1s, which is fine. It's fine. I can use one of them in Tapestry to complete one of these areas. Can't do anything with it in Euphoria, but I can circle something else over here in Pendulum. Yeah, let's use a 1 in Tapestry. Let's complete. I have to put it here at some point. So I need some 2s. If I have 4 2s remaining in Tapestry, that would be great. But I'm getting a coin from that one. And I don't think I can do anything else, unfortunately. So on to turn 6. I know I'm playing quickly. Feel free to pause if you need to. You don't have to keep up here. A pair of 3s. There we go. Finally, a good roll for Euphoria because I can use a single 3 to cross off both 3s, and I get 2 stars for that. That's great. And I still have a 3 available to use. If I get a star from it. Oh, unfortunately, this is the one bad thing about what I've done with Tapestry here. I can only use 2s and 1s there. So a 3 I cannot use in Tapestry. I could use a 3 in Pendulum, but it's not going to complete anything. But that's okay. I want to get more stars anyway in Pendulum. And I have 3 turns left. So really I need to double up in Tapestry at some point by using some pumpkins, which I need to actually get pumpkins so I can do that. Let's use, what can we do here? I feel like I need to do something in Tapestry this round. So let's use 2 coins to create a 2 value die. And let's get a double benefit. This is the 1 double benefit space because I can complete a heart and a coin. That might be useful at some point. All right, turn 7. A 2 and a 5. They add up to 7, so 2 coins could duplicate one of these. I'm going to mark my previous round scores over here. 14.6, 15.3, 5, and a 2. 2 could be good in Euphoria. 2 is great in Tapestry. I need a 5 over in Pendulum. What to do? Well, let's go over here in Tapestry and get a pumpkin. We know we need that. The 5, so I could complete that in, I could put the 5 right now in Pendulum. And if I did that, I would definitely be saying that I can't get all the stars in Pendulum. Another thing I could do is fill in, circle that final star and find a way to double up in Pendulum later. But I'd have to get a little lucky if I do that. But, you know, maybe we should try to get a little lucky. The other little thing here is that I haven't done anything in Euphoria yet. Ideally, I would get a 2 in Euphoria. Or put a 2 in Euphoria. I can't put a 1 over there anymore. Oh, what to do? I think I think let's do this. Let's put the 5 in Pendulum. So I'm only going to get a total of 5 stars at best in Pendulum, but I think these other resources are going to be worth it. I get a heart and a pumpkin. Because now we can actually do some cool stuff in Pendulum. I can double up there because I have 3 pumpkins. I could use Euphoria because I haven't used that yet. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's put a 2 over in Euphoria. Hope that we don't roll 2s in a second, a pair of 2s. And if I wanted, I could double up in Tapestry or Pendulum. But we might as well wait one turn to do that. Let's get more information. Let's see what we get on roll 8. A 2 and a 1. Not great for Euphoria, but we might be able to make it work. A 2 and a 1. We need the 2 over in Pendulum. A 2 or a 1 is decent, or are decent in Tapestry. How can we maximize this? So I determined that I need to double up in Pendulum. So let's put, but we need to do it in a certain order. We need to circle this first and then do that too. So let's use the 1 over in Pendulum. Let's do that. We'll use the 1 in Pendulum to circle that star. Then let's take this 2 and actually, no, we don't even need to do the 2 yet. Let's put the 2 in Tapestry right there to get a pumpkin. Now let's use 1 coin and 3 pumpkins to reactivate Pendulum with the number 2, turning that 1 into a 2, crossing that off. We get 2 stars. We get 2 coins, a heart, and a pumpkin. And we still haven't done anything in Euphoria, so I could use 2 coins in Euphoria to get another star, which is probably worth it. Yes, it's a little bit of a gamble. I could also use 3 hearts to copy that 2 and put it over there, because 2 is the number that I actually need. Oh, that's tough without knowing the last round's information. I'm going to gamble a little bit again. Let's use 3 hearts to copy the 2 and put it here in Euphoria to get another heart. All right, final roll. Let's see what we can get here. A pair of 5s. Pair of 5s. Okay, so that's interesting. We're not going to get everything we need out of Euphoria, although maybe we can manipulate one of those 5s into a 4. Interesting. So each of these realms currently adds up to 6. So a 4 would keep us in the 4 to 10 range and get us a star. Or we could use a single 5 and jump up to the 11 range and get a pumpkin and a heart. I don't know what we'll do there yet, honestly. I do know that 5 is 1 away from 6, which is exactly what I need in Pendulum. So I am going to turn one of those 5s into a 6 to get the final 2 stars, to get 2 coins, 1 heart, and 1 pumpkin. Now I might be regretting a little bit not going after the pumpkin space of Pendulum, but we'll see if it works out. I actually do now have 4 coins. Actually, no, I need 2 coins in Tapestry to complete it. We're actually completing Tapestry on camera here for the first time ever. So 2 coins over here in Tapestry gets us another heart. And now, yeah, I don't have enough pumpkins to use Euphoria twice, unfortunately. You know, I guess over in Pendulum, I could have done probably maybe something to work that out. I haven't used one of the 5s yet, so I could just plop it down in Euphoria. But that doesn't really give me, I think, oh, I really need to adjust it. Yeah, I wish I had 1 more pumpkin. Because 1 more pumpkin, I could adjust Euphoria, one of these dice to a 4. Instead, we'll just get a bunch of resources. Why not? We have a pair. We're using both 5s there. We'll get 2 pumpkins, or 2 hearts, 2 pumpkins. Yeah, I think we actually I could have done this better, because if I'd used those 5s first over here, and, you know, we're still within the same round, so I might actually do it. I don't have any new information. I could have used the 5s first in Euphoria to get all those resources. Um, and then I could have circled this pumpkin. Sorry, I'm going to retcon a little bit here because I could have circled this first. I would still have the same number of pumpkins, I think. Would I have? No, because I wouldn't have earned that other pumpkin yet. I'll have to go back and look. How many pumpkins did I start the round with? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I gained one from here. I haven't used any other pumpkins. So yeah, I haven't used the pumpkin that I gained from that yet. I'm going to say that I can't do it. There's probably a way that I could have done it, but I can't get it to work on the fly here, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Actually, no, yep. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. This is a tricky one, but it turned out to be pretty interesting. And most importantly, I completed Tapestry, which is awesome. I haven't done that in a long, long time. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 point. Actually, that's 16 because I have 10 leftover resources. So 16 flat. Not bad. I'm happy with that. Looks like I have a hungry kitty behind me there. Hey, Walter. Wrong arm there. There you go. Mark says that he got greedy in Pendulum. He had a low score, 12 stars and 9 unused resources, 12.9 stars for me. Yeah, Pendulum's tricky, finding that exact time to essentially flip the timer. That's the theme that I was going for with that realm. It's really tough. It's tough to do. I think it's actually a little fun to get greedy in Pendulum. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. Just play again. But if it does work out, it feels really good. Mark, thank you for playing along live. Anyone else who plays against me live right now, or if you're playing against me live in the future, thank you for playing along, and I look forward to seeing your scores in the comments below. I scored a 16, and over the course of the 3 rounds, my game score is, what was it? Yesterday was 14.6, so 30.6, 40.6, 45.9 is my final score. 45.9, in case you played the whole game against me. All right, take care. Have a great weekend, and I will be back in the near future for another round of Rolling Realms. See ya. Bye.